It cuts the horizon like a solar blade drawn from cosmic fire, burning through air and searing the earth with incandescent velocity. The 2026 Chevrolet Corvette C9 Unofficial Concept is not just another sports car, it is the embodiment of America's untamed spirit. From its very first appearance, the Corvette has always been more than steel, glass, and rubber. It has been a cultural icon, a living myth that evolves with each generation. Now, with the C9, that myth takes its boldest form yet. To understand the weight of this new chapter, we have to look back. The Corvette was born in 1953, introduced as a daring experiment at the GM Motorama show in New York. No one knew then that this sleek roadster would grow into America's greatest sports car legacy. The C2 Stingray of the 1960s shocked the world with its design, the C3 carried the Corvette through the muscle era, and the C4 and C5 showed how technology could merge with raw power. The C7 perfected front-engine performance, but the C8 shattered tradition with a mid-engine layout, proving that America could stand toe-to-toe with Ferrari, Porsche, and Lamborghini. And now, with the C9, Chevrolet redefines what it means to be both futuristic and fiercely American. The C9 is introduced like a storm on wheels. Imagine a low, wide machine crouched like a predator ready to strike. Its exterior is carved with razor-sharp lines that reflect light like a blade. Every intake, every crease, every curve is sculpted not only for beauty but also for aerodynamic efficiency. This is not a design that whispers, it roars, demanding attention even at a standstill. The jewel-like LED headlights glow with menace, while the sculpted intakes along the sides drink in air like lungs before battle. The stance is wide, planted, and unshakable, as though the car grips the ground with claws. But the Corvette has always been more than just its look, it is a declaration. It says that performance, style, and national pride can come together in one single, unstoppable machine. The C9 pushes this idea to its extreme. From the first glance, you know this isn't just transportation, it's an experience, a ritual, a calling. And yet, this concept is not merely about aggression. It also tells a story of evolution, of how America has refused to let the Corvette fade in a world dominated by European supercars. The C9 is not just Chevrolet answering its rivals, it is Chevrolet standing tall and declaring, "This is our legend. This is our future." The first thing that strikes you about the 2026 Chevrolet Corvette C9 Unofficial Concept is its stance. It doesn't sit on the road, it owns it. The car is low, stretched wide, with every surface sculpted like a weapon designed for speed. From the front, razor-sharp headlights pierce forward like the eyes of a predator, glowing in a jewel-like pattern that feels alive with menace. The hood is carved with aerodynamic veins, each line feeding into the next, as if the entire body is breathing fire. Move along the side, and the story deepens. The intakes are massive, functional, and beautiful, swallowing air to feed the beast within. The fenders bulge with muscular precision, giving the Corvette an aggressive silhouette that looks ready to strike at any moment. The side mirrors are razor-thin, almost like blades floating in the wind, designed less for decoration and more for slicing through resistance. Even the wheels have been reimagined. Lightweight alloys that look like they were cut from obsidian, spinning with both elegance and violence. At the rear, the Corvette C9 reveals its deadliest angle. Aerodynamic fins sculpt the air, pushing the car down with race-bred authority. The taillights glow in a sharp, split pattern, a modern homage to Corvette heritage. Beneath them, four exhaust tips stand like cannons, promising a symphony of controlled chaos when unleashed. The diffuser stretches wide, planting the car into the asphalt like roots gripping the earth, reminding you that while this machine may fly, it never forgets the ground it dominates. The entire exterior bleeds aggression but does so with discipline. Every line has purpose, every curve tells a story. It is both artistry and engineering, designed to intimidate rivals before the engine even roars. And when the sunlight hits its panels, the reflections ripple like liquid fire across a blade, making the Corvette C9 look less like a car and more like a myth forged into metal. This is not designed for fashion, it is designed for war. The Corvette doesn't just move through air, it conquers it, slices it, and bends it to its will. And when it passes, all that's left behind is a trail of heat, envy, and silence. If the front of the 2026 Chevrolet Corvette C9 Unofficial Concept is a blade, the rear is the hammer. It is the part of the car that delivers the final, crushing impression, the moment when the predator reveals its fangs. The rear isn't just about styling, it's a manifesto written in steel, fire, and shadow. The taillights blaze like twin streaks of molten energy, sharp and angular, instantly recognizable even from a mile away. They pay tribute to Corvette heritage, yet their futuristic split design makes them look like the eyes of a machine watching everything left behind in its wake. Beneath them, the quad exhausts sit like cannons, arranged in perfect symmetry. When the engine awakens, these pipes erupt like volcanic vents, spitting thunder that shakes the ground. It's not just sound, it's intimidation in its purest form. The rear fascia is layered with aerodynamic sculpting. Air channels sweep through the body, guided by a massive diffuser that hugs the earth with purpose. Every vent and crease works together to generate downforce, locking the C9 to the asphalt when it surges at impossible speeds. The integrated spoiler blends seamlessly into the body, rising like a wing that gives the car its lethal balance, beauty fused with brutality. Look closer, and you'll notice the attention to detail. The Corvette emblem sits proudly at the center, glowing under the rear glass as if it were lit by the heartbeat of the machine itself. Even the rear deck is sculpted with lines that ripple toward the horizon, giving the impression of motion even while the car is perfectly still. At night, the C9's rear transforms into a spectacle. The LED glow of the taillights, the shimmering heat from the exhaust, and the faint reflection of the diffuser create a scene that feels less like a car and more like a spacecraft preparing for launch. The rear becomes a signature, a final glimpse burned into your memory before the Corvette disappears into the darkness. This is not a rear design meant for subtlety. It is dominance carved into metal. Every time the C9 passes by, you don't just see a car pulling away, you witness an empire leaving you behind. Step inside the 2026 Chevrolet Corvette C9 Unofficial Concept, and the world outside dissolves. This isn't a cabin, it's a command center, built for the driver and no one else. Every inch feels like a fighter jet cockpit, where performance, focus, and adrenaline collide in perfect harmony. The first thing you notice is the way the cockpit wraps around you. The dashboard curves inward, embracing the driver like armor, giving the sensation that you're sitting inside the beating heart of a machine. The seats are sculpted like racing shells, bolstered with carbon fiber, trimmed with premium leather and Alcantara, ready to hold you steady as G-forces pull at your body. They're not just seats, they're thrones of speed. In front of you, the digital instrument cluster explodes with life. Every gauge, every readout, every color pulse is designed to communicate speed and control in real time. Augmented reality overlays project racing lines and navigation directly onto the windshield, as if the future itself is guiding your path. The steering wheel is compact and purposeful, shaped like a command stick torn from a fighter jet, with integrated controls that put power at your fingertips. Every surface screams performance. Exposed carbon fiber glistens under soft ambient lighting. Polished metal accents highlight the edges of vents and switches. The center console rises high, separating driver and passenger like a barrier, reminding you that this space belongs to the pilot. Subtle storage compartments add practicality, but nothing distracts from the mission, driving. The technology blends seamlessly with the brutality of performance. A massive infotainment display sits angled toward the driver, responsive to touch and voice, offering not just entertainment but also advanced telemetry, lap data, and performance tracking. Even music feels different here, poured through a sound system that amplifies not just audio, but emotion. Yet no speaker could ever compete with the true soundtrack of this machine, the howl of the V8 hybrid echoing through the cabin. The atmosphere inside the C9 is electric. It's not cozy. It's not luxurious in the traditional sense. Instead, it's purposeful, adrenaline-fueled, and alive with intent. When you sit inside, you're not a passenger of time, you're its master. This is a cockpit built for legends, a place where man and machine fuse into one unstoppable force. Beneath the sculpted skin of the 2026 Chevrolet Corvette C9 Unofficial Concept lies its most fearsome secret, the engine. It isn't just machinery, it's a living, breathing heart of fire, engineered to terrify rivals and thrill anyone brave enough to tame it. At its core beats a twin-turbocharged V8 hybrid, a marvel of modern engineering that fuses raw combustion fury with electric precision. Together, they unleash an earth-shattering 830 horsepower, enough to catapult this beast from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in just 2.7 seconds. In the blink of an eye, the horizon is no longer in front of you, it's behind you. But numbers alone can't capture the experience. Press the throttle, and the exhaust erupts like a volcano cracking open the earth. It doesn't simply roar, it howls, a sound that feels ancient, primal, and violent. Every gear change is a cannon blast. Every acceleration is a storm unleashed. Inside the cabin, acoustics are tuned to channel this thunder directly to the driver, turning each drive into a symphony of controlled chaos. The hybrid system isn't just about efficiency, it's about instant torque, a lightning surge that responds before your mind even finishes the command. It sharpens the car's reflexes, launching it out of corners with an almost supernatural force. Paired with an advanced dual-clutch transmission, shifts are executed with surgical precision, delivering both speed and confidence. Cooling ducts, intakes, and exhaust ports work together like the lungs of an athlete, feeding oxygen to the fire within. The rear engine layout ensures perfect weight distribution, gluing the car to the asphalt even under brutal acceleration. Add to this an advanced suspension and magnetic ride control, and the Corvette C9 becomes not just powerful, but controllable, a beast you can dance with on the edge of physics. When you open the engine bay, it's more than mechanics, it's artistry. Polished carbon, glowing components, and sculpted covers give it the look of a jewel encased in steel. It's not just something you hear or feel, it's something you admire, like a masterpiece painted. In motion and power, this engine is not designed for silence, compromise, or restraint. It's designed to dominate tracks, devour roads, and remind the world that America's greatest sports car is still a predator, and predators don't apologize. They hunt. The 2026 Chevrolet Corvette C9 Unofficial Concept is not only a monster of speed and aggression, it is also a genius cloaked in muscle. For decades, the Corvette has been defined by raw power, but with the C9, Chevrolet takes a bold leap into the future by merging that primal force with cutting-edge intelligence. At the core of this transformation is a futuristic infotainment system that does more than play music or display maps. It's a living hub of data and control, angled toward the driver like the nerve center of a spacecraft. The high-resolution screen responds instantly to touch, gesture, and even voice commands, allowing the driver to remain locked into the driving experience without distraction. From performance telemetry to live track analysis, every detail of the car's behavior is laid out at your fingertips. Augmented reality integration is one of the C9's crown jewels. The windshield acts as a digital overlay, projecting racing lines, braking zones, and navigation directly into your field of view. At night, the system can highlight obstacles and even outline pedestrians, blending safety with performance in a way that feels almost supernatural. The digital cluster is fully customizable, shifting its personality based on your mode of driving. In track mode, the tachometer dominates the screen, glowing like a countdown to ignition. In road mode, navigation and driver assistance features take over, ensuring that intelligence matches the aggression of the machine. And this Corvette isn't just a brute on command, it's a guardian too. Semi-autonomous driving aids, adaptive cruise control, lane keeping assistance, and collision avoidance technology prove that even predators can be precise hunters. Yet Chevrolet has made sure these features never dull the raw connection between driver and car. Instead, they serve as tools, helpers that step in when needed, but always letting the human spirit lead the charge. Even connectivity takes on a performance edge. Cloud-based systems record every lap, every sprint, every journey. Drivers can relive their experiences, compare stats, or share them instantly with fellow enthusiasts. It turns driving into not just a moment, but a memory you can replay and relive. Lighting technology transforms the C9 into a spectacle when the sun goes down. Adaptive LED systems adjust their brightness and angle with millisecond precision, cutting through darkness like a blade. Inside, ambient lighting dances with the rhythm of the drive, shifting tones as your heartbeat rises with every acceleration. The Corvette C9 is proof that technology doesn't weaken muscle, it sharpens it. It's not a compromise between past and future, it's the perfect fusion of both. A car that thinks, adapts, and protects, but never stops thrilling. A machine that proves intelligence and insanity can coexist in perfect harmony. Every legend is built on strengths, and the 2026 Chevrolet Corvette C9 Unofficial Concept doesn't just have them, it flaunts them. This machine is a showcase of everything that makes America's greatest sports car not only relevant, but dominant in a world crowded with European supercars. The first and most obvious strength is raw, unfiltered power. With a twin-turbo V8 hybrid unleashing 830 horsepower, the C9 has the kind of acceleration that bends reality. 0 to 100 km per hour in 2.7 seconds is not just quick, it's brutal. It makes every drive feel like launching a rocket, every straightaway feel like the surface of a runway. No Ferrari, Porsche, or McLaren can ignore numbers like that. Then comes the design. The exterior is not just aggressive, it is iconic. Every angle, every line bleeds purpose, blending aerodynamics with artistry. It doesn't try to imitate European styling, it creates its own language, one forged in American steel and attitude. The C9 isn't about elegance alone, it's about intimidation, the kind of presence that makes heads turn and rivals nervous. Inside, the driver-focused cockpit is another triumph. It's not built for passengers or luxury in the traditional sense, it's built for the warrior in the driver's seat. Every switch, every gauge, every piece of carbon fiber serves the mission of performance. The cockpit doesn't just put you in control, it transforms you into the pilot of a fighter jet on wheels. The C9's technology adds yet another layer of dominance. Augmented reality, futuristic infotainment, semi-autonomous aids, and real-time performance data create an ecosystem where intelligence enhances aggression. It's a beast that doesn't just roar, it thinks, adapts, and guides, making every drive smarter and sharper. And then, there's the heritage factor. The Corvette name itself is a pro. 7 decades of history, 7 decades of dominance, 7 decades of proving that America can go toe-to-toe with the best of Europe and win. The C9 doesn't erase that history, it carries it, honors it, and pushes it forward. Finally, there's the price-to-performance equation. Corvettes have always been known for delivering world-class performance without the stratospheric price tags of European exotics. While the C9 is futuristic and wild, it still stands as a reminder that supercar thrills don't have to belong only to the ultra-rich. Together, these strengths make the Corvette C9 a titan, one that dominates not just with speed, but with identity, presence, and pride. It is proof that America's icon hasn't just survived, it has sharpened itself into something deadlier, bolder, and more unforgettable than ever before. Every legend has its shadows, and the 2026 Chevrolet Corvette C9 Unofficial Concept is no exception. For all its brilliance, for all its fire and fury, the C9 carries with it challenges that demand sacrifice from those who dare to tame it. The first and most obvious drawback is the ride quality. With a suspension tuned for razor-sharp handling and track-level grip, comfort becomes secondary. On smooth asphalt, the C9 feels like perfection, but on uneven streets, every bump and crack is delivered directly to the driver's spine. This is not a machine built for leisurely Sunday drives, it's built for speed, and it makes no apology for it. Then comes the running cost. 830 horsepower is not a gentle appetite. It guzzles fuel when pushed to its limits, demands premium maintenance, and requires components engineered to handle its violence. Tires wear faster, brakes heat harder, and every system is stressed by the sheer brutality of its performance. Owning a C9 is not simply driving, it is investing in the lifestyle of a warrior, and that lifestyle does not come cheap. The noise factor is another double-edged sword. The exhaust note is legendary, an earth-shattering howl that thrills enthusiasts. But for those seeking peace, the constant roar may prove overwhelming. In the city, it demands attention whether you want it or not. For some, that's a badge of honor, for others, it's a burden. Practicality, too, is sacrificed. While the C9 offers smart storage compartments, it's not a family car. Rear seating is symbolic at best, and cargo space remains minimal. This is not the vehicle for road trips with luggage, it's the vehicle for road trips where the road itself is the only destination. And then, there's the challenge of competition. While the C9 redefines American ferocity, it steps into an arena filled with titans: Ferrari's F8, Porsche's 911 Turbo S, McLaren's Artura. Each carries its own legacy, its own strengths. The Corvette answers them with brute power and innovation, but to some purists, the badge will always represent an underdog against European royalty. Finally, the C9 is not for everyone. It demands a certain kind of driver. Someone willing to endure its harsh ride, its costs, its intensity. It's a car that asks for commitment, respect, and courage. Without them, it can feel overwhelming, even unforgiving. These cons, however, are not flaws, they are the price of greatness. The Corvette C9 was never designed to please everyone. It was designed to ignite passion, to demand sacrifice, and to reward only those who dare to step into its arena. And that, perhaps, is what makes it legendary. Every revolution hides its soul in silence, but the 2026 Chevrolet Corvette C9 refuses to remain quiet. It speaks through the hum of its electric core, the pulse of its hybrid heartbeat, and the resonance of its aerodynamic shell. As the driver touches the wheel, sensors awaken, an orchestra of data streaming invisibly, creating a connection between human and machine that feels almost spiritual. Artificial intelligence doesn't dominate here. It assists, whispering in real time about tire grip, wind flow, and power distribution. Yet beneath all this intelligence, there's still a raw edge of unpredictability, a reminder that this is not a soulless computer on wheels but a living beast, alive with hunger and instinct. This symphony is not composed with violins or brass but with roaring motors, flowing electrons, and the sheer determination of engineering. The Corvette has always been more than transportation, it has been a symbol. Now, in 2026, it evolves into a story of how technology can create not just speed, but emotion, not just precision, but poetry in motion. The road ahead is endless, stretching like destiny itself, but the 2026 Chevrolet Corvette C9 is not just a car moving across it. It is a symbol, a living myth, a piece of American soul forged into steel, fire, and motion. From the very first Corvette that rolled out in 1953, this car has been more than transportation, it has been a dream machine. Every generation has pushed the limits of technology and design, and with the C9, that dream now explodes into the future with even greater force. Its razor-sharp body doesn't just cut air, it cuts through history, reminding us that legends are not born once, but reborn again and again. Inside the cabin, you don't sit in a car, you strap yourself into destiny. The carbon fiber, digital overlays, and race-bred cockpit don't whisper luxury, they scream performance. And then, when you press the ignition, the twin-turbo V8 hybrid doesn't simply start, it awakens like a dragon, shaking the earth with 830 untamed horses. Every note of the exhaust feels like thunder echoing from the American heartland, a reminder that raw power is still alive in a world rushing toward silence. But the C9 is not just about speed, it's about what it represents: determination, innovation, and the courage to go beyond limits. For every young kid who once stood on the sidewalk staring at a Corvette, dreaming of the day they'd touch the wheel, for every car lover who knows the difference between a machine and a masterpiece, for every driver who believes freedom is not in the destination but in the ride, this car exists for you. Yes, the Ferrari F8, the Porsche 911 Turbo S, the McLaren Artura, they all bring brilliance to the battlefield. But the Corvette C9 is different. It carries a nation's pride, a culture's passion, and a history that refuses to fade. This is not just performance, it is poetry in motion, carved into metal, painted with fire, and unleashed onto the roads. And now, as this legend takes its place in the story of automotive greatness, we invite you to join us on this journey. The Corvette C9 is not just an unofficial fan-made concept, it's a vision, a celebration of what cars can be, and what they can inspire in us. If this vision moves you, if you feel the roar of the Corvette deep inside your chest, then don't just watch, be part of the legacy. Like this video, share it with every car lover you know, and subscribe to our channel so you never miss the next chapter of this incredible journey. Together, we'll keep the spirit of speed, design, and pure automotive passion alive. This is the 2026 Chevrolet Corvette C9 Unofficial Concept. A legend reborn, a dream that refuses to die, and a promise that the road ahead will always belong to those bold enough to claim it.